She was 19 years old, an orphan with nothing but a blade, and she declared war on an empire. They said she rode into battle on an elephant, golden armor blazing in the sun, a sword in each hand. They said it was easier to fight a tiger than to face her. Her voice rang out like a temple bell, cutting through the roar of war. Her enemies fled at the sight of her. And even after she was gone, the man who beat her never slept again. This is the battle queen of Vietnam. Her name was Triệu Thị Trinh. To understand her, look at her world. The year is 248 AD, and this is the land of the Viet people. For over 3 centuries, the empires of China had ruled them. Foreign governors, foreign taxes, and the Viet never stopped resenting it. Then, in 220, the Han Empire fell, and China shattered into 3 warring kingdoms. The Viet saw their chance and rose up, but without unity, they were crushed by the rising kingdom of Wu. Now, picture the rest of the world. Far away, Rome threw a giant party. It was Rome's 1000th birthday, with gladiators, games, and endless feasts. But while one empire celebrated 1,000 years, a young woman lit a fire of her own. Her story begins in tragedy. Orphaned young, she was raised by her brother and by his wife, who was cruel. By the time she was 19, she'd had enough. The conflict turned violent, and she came out on top. Then she vanished into the wild, climbed a mountain, and disappeared. For months, she trained alone, turning herself into a weapon, striking trees, lifting stones, and taming a war elephant. And word began to spread of a fierce woman on the mountain. The people weren't frightened, they were inspired. Warriors climbed to join her. First a handful, then dozens. Soon, she led 1,000, but her brother wasn't happy. He climbed up to talk sense into her. Forget the rebellion, he begged. Marry and live a quiet, ordinary life. And here, she said something legendary. Tumzeller ruin were Kreisert de die Windscape. I want to ride the great winds and strike the fierce waves. I want to drive out the invaders and save my people. I will not bow my head to be anyone's servant. Her brother had no answer, so he picked up a sword and he joined her. Spring, 248 AD. The occupiers expected a quiet morning. Instead, the jungle exploded. A queen in golden armor, thundering out on a war elephant, a blade in each hand. Her warriors smashed the enemy lines and drove them back. The local rulers panicked and begged Wu for help. Wu sent a flood of soldiers. It didn't matter. They gave her a name. The Lady Flannerals panicked Dorna Rope. Rulers sent for Wu for Kinalaris omelets. It didn't a name. The Lady General in the golden robe. Battle after battle, she won. Some say as many as 30. She even stormed walled cities, something no rebel had ever dared to the trip. as she won, the stories grew much bigger. They said she stood 9 feet tall, breathtakingly beautiful, her voice clear as a temple bell, ringing over the thunder of battle. Enemies fled just seeing her. Easier to fight a tiger, they said, than to face Lady Triu. Legends piled onto legends until the woman became a goddess of war, and shrines would one day rise for her. But that was still to come. For now, she was very real and very much at war. Winning, for now. Through spring and summer, she blazed, one of the greatest uprisings ever seen. But she had one fatal problem. Her army was built for speed, not for long sieges. Stuck outside the walls, they waited, and her forces began to crumble. Wu bribed away her commanders. Others simply grew tired. The seasons turned. Men left to plant their fields, or their families would starve. Bleeding strength, she stood exposed. She was attacked and surrounded, outnumbered, cornered, but she would not be captured. She chose her own end. She was around 22 years old. One legend claims a strange trick, that her enemies fought without their clothes to catch her off guard. But that tale's almost certainly false. They told it about the Chung sisters too, but death did not stop her. It started with the enemy general. Winning had ruined him. Nightmares of the queen tormented him every single night. So he gave a bizarre order. Carve figures to ward her off, 100 of them, around his fort. The craftsmen surely had questions, but her legend only grew louder. Centuries later, heroes still called her name. They said she came to them in their dreams. Even Chun Hung Dao, who fought off the Mongol hordes 1,000 years after her death. Later still, they tried to erase her, writing her out of the histories. But you cannot erase a legend. Her name survived every attempt, and it survives today. 1,800 years later, temples still honor her spirit, and streets across the country carry her name. She was 19 when she started, 22 when she fell, and still we say her name. Triu Thị Trinh, the battle queen of Vietnam.